So from our survey, our respondents, about 35% of them were females. I know that immediately throws up a question. Why is the female gender more dominant when you talk about insurance products? Are we doing gender-specific products as incentives for females to come into the market? Especially when you think about one of the things we discovered, about 22% of these women had annual earnings of above 10 million.
And they're not insured?
Some of them are, some of them are not. But most of them, their businesses are not insured. About 24% of them are self-employed, running SMEs. And they're worrying about their businesses. How can we attract these women to make sure that we offer products that underwrite the risks involved in their businesses? You know, so that's one of the things we found out. When we asked these women that, look, in the last 12 months, how many insurance marketers have come to you to market their products? About 49% of them said, no, nobody has come to me. And I'm sure you can relate with this, Harriet. I mean, I've worked for a couple of years, and in my whole years of working, I can only think of one insurance person that has come to market a product to me. So then you now think that is the industry aggressive in growing its business, or are they just comfortable with the levels that they are?
But then, Ada, do you also think there are enough products to incentivize, you know, most of the populace to want to get an insurance policy? For instance, you talked about 35% of the women who you surveyed, yes, saying that they don't have any insurance policy, and then most of those numbers actually said they had never ever been spoken to by an insurance marketer. It's not because you don't have insurance marketers, but because you don't have products that readily appeal to these women. So if you do bring the products, they're not interested in buying that particular one, but it's not that they don't want to get an insurance policy, right, but because you do not have products that speak directly to their needs. So that's also another issue.
Exactly. So there are two issues. There's the lack of aggressive marketing, and most of the agents that are on the streets, a few of them that are marketing, most of them are not equipped, you know, about the knowledge of the product, about how to relate with different genders, and how to sell the products to them. And for those companies who have products, some products, they're good products in the market, but we also found out that some the populace wants some other kind of products, like the job loss risk coverage. People that are employed are saying that, look, I want to be insured, you know, on my job loss, in case I lose my job. How do I get an insurance cover to cover me? We're talking nowadays, risks are evolving, and when you think about cyber crime, that's an upcoming risk. You know, so insurance companies need to think about this evolving risk, and then structure products that will meet this need and would relate with the Nigerian. It's a tough climate that we live in. You know, people live from hand to mouth. You know, how can we ensure that people can put in a little amount of money and get an insurance cover instead of putting in large amounts once in a year? So those are the issues that, you know, the industry faces and they need to address, basically.
But then it still seems as if, despite these issues, there are sort of myriad of opportunities.
Oh yes, there are. There are enormous opportunities to be explored by the industry, especially when you think about the penetration rate at 0.4%. I think we need to learn from our neighbors, the Kenya and the South Africa, how they've been able to get more people under the insurance cover, you know, and basically be more aggressive in the market. But there are opportunities, especially in 2017. Government securities are doing very well, so that's an opportunity for the industry to grow its investment income. You know, the devaluation, we're looking at a probable devaluation in 2017, and just as I talked about the asset revaluation, you know, business lines such as motor vehicle, there may be need to top up premiums. So exactly.
Not a lot of people want to hear that, especially since you don't see, well, for some companies who haven't been, you know, increasing salaries, or some who had to lay off the staff. So maybe before you got laid off, you were able to pay 70,000 naira premium on your car, but you can't do that anymore because you don't have a steady job. And so that's where that product you talked about, a job loss insurance product, comes in. Yes.
So we also thought that it would be difficult for people to top up their insurance premiums. But when we spoke to a couple of operators, they say a few people have been responding. So that's good for the industry, because we see that in 2017, motor insurance premiums would actually increase for that reason, for the Naira devaluation.
So let's quickly talk about this part of your report. You said gross premium income is estimated to grow by 8%.
Yes.
How?
Okay, so one of the reasons is the Naira devaluation. We think that the motor business line would grow. And then there's been growth in life business. We saw about 54% growth in 2015 in life business alone. So we think that, coupled with the plans of the government to grow group life, to contribute to group life premiums, we see that those are the factors that will contribute to the 8% growth in 2017.
But in advising most of these operators, you talked already about the job loss insurance product. What other products do you think they should be coming up with at this time to make them more endeared to Nigerians, if you like, especially as 2017 still looks like a very tough year?
Yes.
But it's, well, at some point, we're hoping to hit, almost the top of the water, yes. Instead of sinking further.
So going back to the females and the female gender and insurance, these women are concerned about their businesses. So they have SMEs, they have businesses that they run, and they want to insure their businesses. They want to be sure that, look, if anything happens to this business, I can be covered. So that's a ground that they can, operators can take advantage of.
So basically, your outlook for 2017
is stable.
Very stable.
It's stable. We believe that there will be a lot of negatives, but there will also be positives that will balance out, and it's basically a stable outlook.
And that's a very good way for us to anchor this conversation. Thank you so much for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you.
Ada Ufomadu, who is a bank and insurance ratings analyst at Augusto & Co.
Thank you.
Business Morning continues after now. Join us again.